Quiet on the set.
Camera speed.
Sound production.
Roll sound.
Rolling.
Sound production. Take 2.
Welcome to the I Remember Liking That Movie podcast. Remember those childhood movies you loved? Now, we're going to watch them again and find out if they're still as amazing as you remember. Or, your father was right. You were an idiot, and everything you watched was stupid. So buckle up, movie aficionados. Over-the-top gore? Check. Over-embellished action? Check. Gratuitous nudity? Double check. Storylines so absurd you could drive a semi-truck through those plot holes. Oh yeah, some of those movies didn't even know what a movie plot was. And that's the way we liked it. Now, here's your hosts, Anna Santos and Jimmy Coates.
Welcome to the I Remember Liking That Movie podcast. This week, this is our pre-watch, so this is pre-recorded, obviously. We are going back to the 90s, 1999. I believe this movie is responsible for 15 years after this of raunchy, over-the-top, politically incorrect comedies coming out the wazoo. This movie, American Pie, Kingpin, those type of movies that weren't as abundant in the 90s, but they were there. And this movie is 1999's Drop Dead Gorgeous. This movie is stacked female cast. What do you remember about Drop Dead Gorgeous?
Okay, I'm not gonna lie to you. I remember there's a pageant, and I'm pretty sure violence, killing, but here's the problem. Jawbreaker also came out this year.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So did, oh God, there were a few movies about like
female,
there's another
eccentric.
Yeah. There were quite a few that came out around this time.
Was
that
Bring
had
It
to
On
do with-
99? No.
2001?
2000 it came out.
Yeah.
Around this time there was
a lot of female centric movies.
Yeah.
A lot of them were very irreverent and either had to do with cheerleading or with pageants. Some movies that were not female centered but had like teams of women in there who were also either posing as cheerleaders, being violent. So there was a lot where I'm like, I think I remember something from this movie, but I'm like, wait, or was that Jawbreaker? Or was that like, I'm like, wait, but was that girl in this movie? I can't remember. So it kind of convolutes because I haven't seen Drop Dead Gorgeous probably since the early 2000s. So it's been at least 20 years.
Well, the guy who directed this name is Michael Patrick Jan. And when you look at his resume, did you ever watch he's done tons of TV, but he was one of the main guys of Reno 911. He directed 44 episodes. He also did that Doctor one, Children's Hospital. He did a lot of those ones. So he did Community, Suburgatory, The Goldbergs. So it was also written by a woman, Lana Williams, who also wrote, where is it here? She worked on the Drew Carey Show, Roseanne, The Simpsons. She did Scout's Guide. She did Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse. I actually really like that movie.
Oh, I did too.
Yeah. But what is huge here is it's Denise Richards and Kristen Dunst are the main teenage girls. But Ellen Barkin, Allison Janney, Kirstie Alley, Brittany Murphy, Mindy Sterling, Amy Adams, it's Laurie A. Sinclair, Sarah. These are, and if you Alexandra Holden, even if you don't know those names or all of those names, you will know them when you see them. It also has Will Sasso. I believe it also has the guy who does, where is he here? Matt Malloy, who does. Oh, I'm thinking of someone
Oh,
else. Never mind.
no, but you also know Matt Malloy's face.
Oh yes, yeah. When you see Matt Malloy, you will
Yeah.
know him.
Adam West is in this.
Yeah,
Sam
it's
McMurray, who you know, everybody knows.
yeah, it's got a full. It's
Yeah.
packed. I do remember this movie, and I remember this movie because I was at Blockbuster, and the movies that I wanted were not there. And I saw this, and I'm like, "Fuck that! I'm not getting fucking Ellen Barkin and Christy." Not that I didn't like them. I'm just saying, oh, it's about. But then I did look at it, read the back. It sounded kind of funny, and I got it as it was a backup movie. I know, I remember it being a backup movie, but when I watched it, and I watched it with friends, and we fucking howled through the entire, like it was a great movie. I remember loving this movie.
See, I remember really liking this movie. Unfortunately, around this time, I was watching a lot of movies.
Oh yeah,
like
oh
a lot.
God,
So,
yeah.
like some of them end up, like especially the ones that I didn't end up rewatching or that didn't get a lot of TV play. This
And
one
this one wouldn't.
This one did not. So
No.
I'm like, shit, which one is? But I was like, wait, but I remember laughing at Denise Richards.
Yes.
Like, did I laugh at Denise Richards? Yes, I remember laughing at Denise Richards.
Now I know.
Kirsten Dunst.
Yeah, and because she just after this, she went on and did Bring It On,
Yes.
another action movie that I was not keen on watching, but again, pleasantly surprised. It was a very funny movie that I remember. My wife and my daughters actually watched Bring It On not that long ago, and I heard them laughing while they were watching it. So, okay, I know this was not an independent movie, but it was a lower movie. So I'm guessing the budget was not very big. If it was anything, it was to get it between 10 and 15 million. That's not bad.
I mean, also you've got to remember this is probably a very female heavy cast, which lowers the price.
That's true. Yeah, it does.
Because this is before I think it's before Julia Roberts did her whole fuck you. You're going to pay him $20 million a movie. You pay me $20 million a movie. By the way,
when your movie's bringing in like 150 and 250 million dollars, and you're like, hey, what the fuck?
Why aren't you paying me, bitch? Yeah.
Let's see. I know it didn't do very well because I don't even remember seeing a commercial for this movie.
It was not a big commercial success.
No.
It definitely was one of those where it was a blockbuster kind of conversation where you were like, oh my God, have you seen that movie? You got to rent it.
Yeah. See, so 15 million, but there it is. It says 15 million budget. It made 10 million. Not good.
No.
Rated PG-13. Seriously? Came out in July. So it was open in the summer, but yeah, what did it go up against? Oh, it opened at 11th.
I mean,
not good. The Haunting. Oh, that was a bad movie. But I remember loving that movie.
Yes. Oh my God.
Made 33 million. Inspector Gadget. All the open on the same. American Pie. Eyes Wide Shut. Big Daddy. I love Big Daddy. Lake Placid. We reviewed Lake Placid. The Wild West. Jesus. Tarzan. The cartoon. The Wood.
The Wood. Yes.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah. Well, yeah. Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, was in its 10th week and already at 400 million. Then Drop Dead Gorgeous. Yeah. What are you going to do? So,
I mean, a lot of those movies, like The Haunting, everybody went to see it.
Inspector Gadget would have been families.
Yes. So, I mean,
I've never
had
seen
very
that movie.
Inspector Gadget?
Never seen it. And I like, what's his name?
Matthew Broderick.
I love Matthew Broderick. I grew up on watching his movies.
I like the cartoon.
Never watched. Yeah, I remember watching the cartoon all the time. The same 6 episodes for years.
Right.
So it opened up at 11th, dropped to 15, 22, 45, 53. Oh, shot up to 32 in week 6, and then back down to 46 and disappeared. Stayed in a bunch of 162 days, so stayed in a handful of theaters for a while.
Yeah.
Probably had that little niche. All right. Well, let's see. What do you think, the reviews? Do you think they're going to be good or not? I'm thinking they're going to be good because
I think they're going to
I
be
thought it was funny.
60 to 70 average, because I think there's going to be a lot of people who don't get it.
Yeah, that's true.
I feel like this is one of those like
stupid people out there.
movies. Yeah, I think this is one of those movies where it's like you either get it or you don't, and it's not like the widespread humor.
Well, it is shot like a documentary, much like Best in Show, Spinal
Yeah.
Tap, that type of thing. And those movies, while I love Best in Show and The Mighty Wind and stuff, don't do very good in the box office.
True.
All right, let's take a look. Oh, that's odd.
Oh,
Well, we have 74 reviews coming in at 47%, but 50,000 plus audience popcorn meters at 75%. So the audience really liked the movie, and the reviews were not even 50, a little under 50-50.
yeah.
So this is a Jimmy pick.
So you're going to do the good ones?
I'll do the good ones. You
Yes.
can do the bad ones. I love doing the bad ones, but I'll do the good ones. So I will start. Then let's take a look. Okay, this is from Joe Lippitt, Horror Queers podcast. I love the queers. They love their movies. And if they like it, it's got to be good. This cult classic is horribly offensive and devastatingly funny, featuring a stacked cast of powerful female performers and a razor-sharp screenplay. Drop Dead Gorgeous is a misunderstood classic that we will never see the likes of again.
Interesting. Matt Brunson from Film Frenzy says, imagine Heathers or Election without their savvy satire or impeccable comic timing, and you basically get Drop Dead Gorgeous. The original score 2 out of 4.
An acidic, gleefully misanthropic comedy that pulls no punches in its razor-sharp satire of beauty pageant drama. 3 out of 4. Maddie Lucas from the front row.
Michael Dakina from themoviereport.com exhibits a lot of attitude, but not a whole lot of smarts. Original score 2 out of 4.
Danielle Solzman from Soulsy at the Movies says, in spite of all the predictability, the campy tone of Drop Dead Gorgeous combined with such fun performances is what makes it so wonderful.
Michael Rechtschaffen from The Hollywood Reporter, a mockumentary of numbingly unfunny proportions. Wow.
Let's see. There's a lot of bad ones here.
There really are.
E-Online. There are laughs, delirium judges, especially who don't know much when it comes to talent, but are impressed with nubile young girls flexing their limbs. Yeah, now I remember. That was E-Online.
Yeah. Sean P. Means from film.com. Drop Dead Gorgeous is a satire of beauty contests, which is simultaneously beating a dead horse and kicking a stubborn mule.
Christopher Null, Drop Dead Gorgeous is drop dead hysterical. 3.5 out of 5. Filmcritic.com.
Jonathan Foreman from the New York Post. Crude and witless.
Susan Walsh, Jesus Christ, Wilshowskiniana, USA Today.
Yeah.
Allison Janney is tacky incarnate as Barkin's good time gal pal. 2.5 out of 4. That's not a fucking review. Just whatever.
Desson Thompson from the Washington Post says, this kind of genre is already an overdone deal. Original score 0.5 out of 5.
This will be my last one for Rotten Tomatoes. Is Philip Wunsch, Dallas Morning News. Beneath its mean-spiritedness is a sharp-clawed wit.
And Roger Ebert of the Chicago Sun-Times says, the ideas are funnier than the images. His score was 2 out of 4.
Okay. Well, I'm going to IMDb here, and let's see what they say. 43,000 reviewers give it 6.7 out of 10. That's not bad.
Okay, yeah, see? Between 60 and 70.
Yeah. Oh yeah, look, I'm just going down to the reviews. Bring It On, Jawbreaker, Dick. That was another funny. I remember.
Yeah.
And Kristen Dunst again. She
She
did a
was
lot
busy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sugar and Spice. Yeah, they made a ton of female-led movies, and then also had Romeo and Michelle's high school reunion. Like there were tons.
Yeah, there were a lot. And they always had a core female group, usually took place with either beauty contests or cheerleading,
Yeah,
or the people in the beauty contest were the cheerleaders. It was, and a lot of the same actors who kind of were like interchangeable in roles. This sounds horrible to say, but it's true. If one actor couldn't make it, there was a whole like list of other actresses who could take their place. They were
yeah,
just all in the same movies, and you're like, which one was which?
yeah. And I hope I don't sound like, oh yeah, there were tons of chicks in movies, like chick eccentric. They were actually funny. I remember, like, they might not be now, but we've learned anything. But I remember a lot of them being very good.
This was kind of like the one renaissance of women can be funny too.
Yeah, because this was from the late 90s to like 2015 or whatever. Yeah, it was they were making very good comedies, and the women
Yeah, women kind of
leads
came out. It was like
were
the
just
only-
as funny.
yeah, we're just as funny, but they still had this weird, like, it's a whole thing, but there was like this little bit where they're like, young attractive women can be funny.
Yeah.
And then they kind of kept it, but it was like always contained a little bit, and I'm like,
Like, what was
man,
it? Reese Witherspoon, Election. That was fucking hilarious
Election.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah, there was tons of them.
so many.
All right, so I will start because it was my pick. I will start with 10. Here we go. This is from Maria Ramstein, 10 out of 10. I love this movie. Want to laugh? Watch this. 10 out of 10.
From F's 2, brutally wicked and hilarious, 9 out of 10.
Yeah, I remember. I'm starting to remember the humor is pretty mean spirited.
Yeah, I remember a lot. God, I hope I'm remembering the right movie. But I remember a lot of stuff that you laugh and then you're like, ooh.
Biochemical, 8 out of 10. An outrageous, deliciously bad taste classic.
Jack Cowart, 34. A black comedy not for the easily offended, 7 out of 10.
An entertaining mockumentary, Cricket Bat, 6 out of 10.
M. Wendell says, I didn't know if I should cringe, cry, laugh, or run, 5 out of 10.
Moments of Brilliance, Hour of Monotony. Pal Joey, 4 out of 10.
Let me see. Jamie W. Jackson, I guess I didn't get it, 3 out of 10.
2 out of 10. So many things to hate in this film. Phil Romano.
Lydia Darling, another ridiculous contrived piece of unfunny trash, 1 out of 10.
Okay, so the critics were kind of split more to the not liking. The audience overwhelmingly liked it more than they did.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just take a look at that's it. Okay. All right, let's take a look at the poster. I did not know this was a poster. The one up in the corner there, that's the one I remember from the video store.
Oh, I remember that one.
There it is with the
poster.
Yeah, you have 3 pageant girls standing there in bathing suits, one dead or supposedly laying down, drop dead gorgeous, and then you have Chrissy Alley, Ellen Birkin, Kristen Dunst, and Denise Richards. And the tagline, there's only one apparently, is the battle between the good and the bad is about to get ugly.
Nice.
That's a nice tagline.
That was a great tagline.
All right. Did we hit everything? Reviews, budget, poster. I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let me just bring up. Then this is a very hard to find movie. Just so people know, I believe it might be on Hulu, but if you are not an American or APN subscriber, it is a hard movie to come by. I checked Plex and Tubi, but I just what movie did we watch? Something that I rented. I think it was a couple months ago, and then popped up on Tubi. I'm like, you dicks. All right, so let's share this. So we're going to watch the trailer and then make our predictions.
Every year, in the small town of Mount Rose, Minnesota, a special competition takes place.
I know what some of your big city no-bra wearing, hairy-legged women livers might say. They might say that a pageant is old-fashioned and demeaning to the girls. No, I think you boys are going to find something a little bit different here in Mount Rose.
But for two ambitious girls,
I believe this pageant teaches you what's really important in life.
I dream of getting out of Mount Rose. I mean, guys get out of Mount Rose all the time for hockey scholarships or prison.
And two jealous mothers.
My daughter is the most talented contestant that Mount Rose has ever had.
It's not just about beauty.
Go Muskies! Woo!
I'd lay down 10-1 that it all comes down to Amber Atkins and Becky Lehman.
It's about poise.
If you could be any tree in the woods, what kind of tree would you be?
Green.
It's about tradition.
You get your ass up there and show me some teeth.
It's about winning and whatever it takes.
Are we on cop, Gerald? Are we on cop? Hey, this here's business. It's on cops.
Oh my god! My cat costume's gone! Bring it on!
From New Line Cinema.
What kind of a moron thinks skip ladders right before a pageant?
Kirstie Alley, Ellen Barkin, Kirsten Dunst, Denise Richards.
Look at that winner. I think she's had a boob job. Oh, come on. She's too young for a boob job. They do that at birth now. What are you talking about?
Our pageant is not a peep show.
Drop dead gorgeous.
Suck it in, or so help me, I shoved my foot so far.
Come on, shake your body, baby, do that conga.
They get props for the Gloria Estefan.
What's that?
They get props for the Gloria Estefan.
Yeah. That was a pretty funny trailer.
That was.
I forgot Will Sasso plays a mentally handicapped person.
This is going to be interesting. That was Samantha Harris.
Yes. The amount of people in this, there are a few guys that are in it, but the amount of females that are in this is holy
Well, it's
shit.
funny because I saw the blonde who I was like, that's Amy Adams.
That's Amy Adams.
So young.
Even the makeup artist lady, the bigger lady, screaming at them at she's been in tons of stuff.
Yeah.
Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
I remember her name. I think I'm gonna like it. You can already tell this is not going to be politically correct. And it's 1999, which for this white dude is awesome. I am gonna laugh. It does look funny though. The trailer actually was well done.
I think it's going to be funny. I think it's going to be offensive.
Yes.
I think it's going to be a lot of stuff nobody would put in a movie unless they were trying wouldn't put in a movie now unless they were trying to be really
offend.
edgy.
Yeah.
And, I don't give a fuck about wokeness. I think there might be vibes of that, but also 1999, that was just how we rolled. So I think it'll be interesting because I mean, the last time I thought we were going to have a bunch of like super inappropriate stuff,
That's true.
we didn't. Beverly
Yeah.
Hills Cop came out, and I was like, I wasn't even
I was almost
offended.
positive I wasn't gonna
I
be
thought so
offended, but
too.
I'm sure some people, and yeah, there was not a lot in there at all.
Yeah. So this, I think I'm gonna like it. I think I'm gonna think it's funny. I don't know how funny I'll think it is. I'm like, am I gonna laugh through this entire thing and then be like, why have I not watched this movie in the last like 25 years?
That's what I'm gonna be, because when was the last time? Would it been around the
Honestly,
early 2000s?
Early 2000s.
Yeah,
So at least 20 years, maybe a couple more than 20.
It would have been mid, because I actually remember buying it at Blockbuster for when it hit the $6.99 thing, and then I lost it. So I watched it a couple more times, but it was mid or 2000s, early 2000s would have been the last time I watched it.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of wondering the same thing, because the trailer looks pretty funny, and I'm gonna be like, why the fuck have I not watched this? But as we've learned, sometimes you watch it, go, oh, that's why I haven't watched this movie.
You're like, I swear, I loved this movie before, and I remember this, like all of the movies that came out at the same time: Sugar and Spice, Jawbreaker, Best
Oh
in
yeah,
Show, But I'm a
Election, Bring It On.
Cheerleader, like all of this. Like I really liked all of them.
Yeah,
I remember really liking all of them, but a lot of them are just not available. Like they didn't get the TV replay, or they got reduced and then moved to the back for like Blockbuster and things like that.
Yeah.
So it wasn't necessarily something you searched out. So I'm interested to rewatch it because it's been a while since I've seen. It's been a very long time, but I'm like, I remember liking it. I think I'll still like it.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna like it. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
I'm looking forward to watching it. I forgot about the Will Sasso. Did you see him run into the class?
Will Sasso's amazing.
I love Will Sasso. I loved him on Mad TV. I loved every comedy sitcom he did that didn't last past one season, and I don't understand why. I even like him in Young Sheldon. He plays the dad of Georgie's wife.
Yes.
And now they have a sitcom, and he's a regular in that.
Georgie and Mandy's first wedding.
That's something like that.
First marriage.
Yes.
George and Mandy's first marriage. That's what it's called.
And Will Sasso plays the father-in-law.
He was also in.
He was in that one with Captain Kirk there, William Shatner. Shit, my dad says. They made a sitcom. Was actually funny.
It was.
I don't think it's called Shit, My Dad Said. I think that was.
No, it actually is called that.
Oh, is it? Okay. And
Like,
I remember watching.
But
I remember watching a few episodes. I'm like, this is actually pretty good, and it didn't last.
It didn't last, but he also did. There was a Canadian high school show. He did. Fuck, I'm gonna figure that out. Because there was a teen show that happened in Vancouver or something.
Degrassi.
No, that was Toronto.
Oh, okay.
No,
I don't know.
I swear, Canadian teen shows. It's a thing. It's a
one
thing.
with Ryan Gosling or Ryan Reynolds?
No. The one with Ryan Gosling was the high school on a cruise ship.
Right, yeah.
And then there's the one with Ryan Reynolds, which was actually called Driftwood, about the kid.
I thought that was the two guys in a pizza place or something.
Also, two guys, a girl in a pizza
That's
place.
with Nathan Fillion, right?
Correct.
Yes.
And
I wouldn't mind watching that show again.
There's a lot of stuff. Oh God, I think it started with an H. I'm gonna be really annoyed by this because this is it Edgemont that it was? No, it's fuck, I'm gonna have to find it. But anyways, a bunch of Canadian actors that you have definitely seen on your TV for the last like 20 odd years were in this show.
Hmm.
And it's so fun to watch them when they were all super young.
Yeah, no, and I remember I loved Will Sasso on Mad TV. I used to love Mad TV.
I loved Mad TV.
Yeah, and Will
That show
Sasso
made me
was
laugh so hard.
Yeah, Will Sasso was one of the funnier guys. Yeah, I think I'm gonna like it. So we are gonna watch Drop Dead Gorgeous, and when we come back, we are going to review it.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Delicious things to eat.
The popcorn can't be beat. The sparkling drinks are just dandy. The chocolate bars and the candy. So let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
And now, on with the show.
Yeah.
Hey.
Fucking movie. I was gonna put a bunch of clips together. This movie could have easily, like I would have just put the whole movie out. There are so many clips that you could take from this movie.
So true. So true.
I don't know if you were there when I was running trivia. Most of the Will Sasso scenes were added after some test screening, and found that the males that watched the movie, there was no male relatable characters. So let's be honest, when people like me went and watched this and complained, they thought, let's put fucking Will Sasso in as a mentally handicapped person to appease these morons that didn't like the movie. That was to relate to people like me.
I mean, it explains
You're
a
welcome.
lot. It explains a lot because his character is unlike any other character. The humor that comes from his character, very different from the humor in the majority of this movie.
Oh God.
It was nice. It was kind of funny. I'm not gonna lie. I laughed too at Will Sasso.
Did you see the other trivia where Kirstie Alley would not try on any of the costumes? Because she did have quite a few in the movie. They had to send it to the Scientology celebrity building, and she would try them on there.
She is a super Scientologist, so I get it.
Was
Oh my God, that's right.
She's dead, right?
I think yeah.
Yeah.
She is dead.
I love she's great. Kirstie Alley is awesome. She's very funny.
She is hilarious. And yes, she died about 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Almost 3 years. 2.5 years ago. Anyways. She's hilarious. She has incredible comedic timing. She was a great actress.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, she's a super Scientologist.
Yeah.
Which we all know can cause problems.
Yeah, and if that's your religion, I just can't wrap my head around your prophet being called Ron.
It's a cult.
Yeah, and he had a SIN card, like he had a job and an address in the country. That's your prophet. Come back in his spaceship.
He was just a failed sci-fi writer who managed to get some people to pay him money so that he could write some.
But I've actually read a couple of his books back when I was a kid, and a couple of them were quite good. I just don't know how he pivoted from science fiction writer to cult leader.
We'll never really know. Unfortunately, those are secrets held close to it because nobody's going to say, well, he saw, the people who believed in aliens really found truth in this, and he found a way to profit off of that. Nobody's going to do that documentary, except for maybe Leah Remini.
Yeah. Okay. Well, did you watch Drop Dead Gorgeous?
I did.
All right. What are your initial thoughts?
I really liked the movie. I did not find it uproariously funny, but I did find it very funny. But it wasn't one of those, like it was a quiet funny. It was a smart funny.
Yeah, I laughed a couple times. I won't lie. Usually, I'll be honest. It was mostly the politically incorrect stuff. But I will say this: like for this ensemble, every character. It wasn't just Will Sasso. That's what I mean. I could have done a clip on anyone
Yeah, every character has a moment.
Yeah, yeah, and that's what they did very well. And it's too bad this didn't do great at the box office because this and I know it's a collaborative editors and
No. I think, to be perfectly honest, this movie was too smart for the audience in 99.
Which is weird because it is a smart movie, but it's not a hard movie to follow.
No, it's not. It's super like clear and simple, and it's a well-written movie. So like clever. I really appreciated it, but I think because I think it was just the trend in film at the time, Will Sasso's humor.
I think we talked about this in the preview that there was so like look at this was the easiest wall for me. Like you see behind me, like and then and then I've got tons more comedies there from early 90s through the 2000 before 2010. There were so many of them. I think it just got lost in the abundance of comedy movies. Like Christy Alley, like even when they're going to park in the mall, the Great American Mall, and she's like, well, if you're gonna make the Great American Mall, maybe they should also make the Great American Parking Lot. Like just little quips like that. The Japanese family, oh my fucking god.
It's fucking amazing.
They adopted a white girl to seem more American. And when
they were like, we adopted her 3 years ago, and I was like,
she's like 17.
And then their actual like bio daughter like walks in and starts speaking Japanese, and he's all like,
he's all mad,
be American,
screaming at her to speak and calling her the R word.
Oh god,
I'm like, oh my god.
They use the R word a lot.
Yeah, it was awesome. Movie. I had so much fun. Yeah, but every little character, like Christy Alley, what is her name there from? Ellen Barkin was very funny. Oh, God, Will Sasso was a scene stealer, obviously, but also Allison Janney was also a scene stealer.
She was probably my favorite,
bar none. Yeah,
she was my favorite character in this entire movie.
She sees those guys and she's like, "Oh fuck, are we on Cops again?" She's trying to get them to drive her home, and Ellen Barkin's like, don't let her fool you. She's 2 trailers down.
And it's like, but I mean, you
molesting the mailman.
Oh my god. There's so like she has so much gold and she delivers it so perfectly. You can't help but laugh.
Yeah.
Like 9 times out of 10, I was laughing at her because I was like, man, you're doing this so good.
Yeah, and if you're trying to remember this movie, you're right. It's not uproarious where it's like but I did laugh quite a few times. Not boisterous laughter, but ha ha ha. Like but I smiled from start to finish.
Yes,
like I had fun through this entire fucking movie. Just it was so dumb, but also, so cleverly dumb.
But that's it.
That's the point.
The picture but you can tell by the writing, they took every Minnesota small town, like
that's so awesome.
Small town, like not anti big city, like stereotype, and they brought it to life in such an earnest way that you're like, it really feels like a documentary. Like it doesn't feel like overplayed or ridiculous. You're like 100% these people exist. 100%. And I appreciate, I don't know who is doing the set design or the set dressing, but that little buffet that they had with all the Minnesota salads, I was like, yes.
I didn't put that trivia on. That's they actually, all the food in there, even when they were talking about that fish at the cafeteria, that is all Minnesota. Apparently Minnesota, this is staples for the bars, the candy bar, like the homemade dessert bars and stuff, and Jello molds, and
well, it's funny because there's a TikToker mayonnaise on everything, including Jello. There's a TikTok true story. There's a TikToker. I think she's either Minnesota mom or Midwest mom. Anyways, she's a trained like opera singer, very talented, really, but she will dress up in kind of vintage feeling outfits, so like 1950s, and she makes Minnesota salads.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And the stuff that she's like, we're going to have this at every potluck. And she's like, and whipped cream and grated cheddar cheese and olives and grapes. And you're like, what? Who eats a mini marshmallows? You're like,
that tastes great. It just probably looks or sounds disgusting. I watched
there's no reason for it.
How I
None.
Met Your Mom and the girl from American Pie. What's her name? That sticks the flute up her vagina.
Excuse me, Allison Hannigan.
Yes, she hates going to her husband's families for holidays because he's from Minnesota, and she's like, they put mayonnaise in everything.
But I mean, God bless. Minnesota winters are cold. You got to put a little layer of like warmth on you in way of fat. So I understand the mayo. I understand.
I only have 2 gripes with this movie. One, Denise Richards had no accent, and they could have addressed this by just saying that they sent her to school or had a coach, a language coach, get rid of it. They never addressed that, and she sounded very out of place in this movie. Her character was great. Like, she might not be the best actor on this list, but like raging bitch look, she's fantastic. Oh my God.
Yeah, she is the ultimate mean girl.
Yeah. Oh yeah, easy. The other thing I had a gripe was with, I'm like, oh my God, I had so many crushes on these girls, and still do. And then I'm like, oh, I shouldn't be thinking they're in high school. I'm like, but when I watched it, I was very young. So am I wrong? Denise Richards was 28 when she did this movie, playing a 17-year-old.
Oh, wow, she looked really good.
Everyone was 20. Yeah. I was like, what, really? Holy shit. The only one that was actually 17 was Kristen Dunst. Everyone was over 21.
Yeah.
Amy Adams. Who was the sickly girl?
Oh shit. Hold
She's
on.
been in tons of stuff too.
Is it Alexandra Holden?
Yes. It was their
yes,
first.
It is her. Yeah,
This was their first.
That girl in so many things.
Yeah. And this was their first feature film. This was Amy Adams and her first feature film.
Can I tell you?
And the girl that's pregnant and smoking.
Yeah.
The girl's that was her first feature film too. Just and if you were watching this as a producer or a writer and you saw Amy Adams, just this is her first movie, like you'd be like, fuck, that kid's got talent. Like I would never have thought that was her first movie ever.
No. She was very natural on screen.
Yeah.
Very
she played an idiot, but she played it perfectly.
She did so well.
Everyone acted well in this movie.
Yeah.
The guy who's
that
Matt
was what
Malloy,
surprised me.
John Doe.
Oh my God.
Creepy pedophiler. He was so creepy.
When they're doing that rehearsal in front of in the driveway of the dance studio house, he very casually, when he's standing behind that Jeep, starts kind of petting or fondling the wheel that's on the back. And I was like, oh my God, that's so creepy.
Like the director must have just told him, just go for it, creepy dude. Like, just go for it.
He did it
I got you.
Well.
When he was watching them do the dance thing, and he was like, he was getting totally turned on as he was watching it. Like,
it was so good. Also, when they're doing the interviews, he starts leaning forward and smiling and just staring.
And the girl that doesn't say anything, that was our writer.
Oh,
she is the Atlanta. I'm sorry, Lana Williams. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Lana forgives you.
Yeah. So that was actually her. And the dad, Christy Alley's husband. What a douche. Like, what a perfect douche. And he plays a douche all the time, but he's so good.
He's so good at it. He's that guy. He's that guy. Once you know he's on screen, you're like, you're gonna be filthy and terrible.
And the old lady that was teaching them how to dance, the sidekick to Christy Alley, Ellen Barkin, like no one was bad in this movie.
No one was bad in this movie. It's a very, very smart movie. Very well written. So well written. And I think that might have been its demise. There were not enough fart jokes for the audience at the time. Also there was just a saturation. Like once they realized that, teens wanted to watch movies about themselves.
Yeah.
All the studios just went all in and started mass producing them.
Yeah. 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 Like look at Saved. We watched Saved and that was a very good movie and it didn't do very well either. I'm sure these movies did very well once it hit Blockbuster.
Oh yeah. So, I'm sure.
I actually read a thing where a lot of movies made 60% of their profit from Blockbuster.
That does not surprise me.
Up until 2010.
Mm-hmm.
And FYI for people out there, Sony and Universal, who were leading the charge for DVDs, went to Blockbuster and offered them a deal, much like their VHS, to have exclusive rights to the movies in DVD format for 3-4 months before they went on sale to the public. And Blockbuster said, no, DVDs will never replace VHS. Yeah. Wow.
Although there was a VHS moment in this that actually caused me to laugh out loud. I was like, oh my God, how many times have we done that?
I love seeing that.
Anyone
records over it. Yeah.
Would not understand it, but our generation.
Sakes.
You recorded your shows over it. Oops.
All right. Let's go over this movie. Talking about it the whole.
Yeah, man.
I think we pretty much covered most of it. All right. In 1995, the small conservative town of Mount Rose, Minnesota, is preparing for their annual local qualifying pageant for the National Sarah Rose Cosmetics American Teen Princess Pageant. A film crew is in town to document the pageant and its lead up. One of the interviewees is 17-year-old Amber Atkins, who signs up for the pageant in the hopes of winning a college scholarship and following in the footsteps of her idol, Diane Sawyer. And they did a great job of introducing every character.
Yes.
Even the ones that didn't want to be in the...
Yeah. Like you got a quick snapshot of everybody.
Yeah.
Which was really great. So you got a little bit of background, you got just enough information. But also, like, through this entire thing, when you would introduce, you saw enough enough of the characters just being them and then them talking that you're like, oh, I know exactly who you are. And this is fantastic.
Yeah.
Also, Amber's obsession with Diane Sawyer was amazing.
Yeah.
It was so fantastic.
Among the other contestants are Rebecca Becky Lehman, the daughter of the richest man in town. Becky's mother, Gladys, is the head of the pageant organizing committee and a former winner. That was, they showed her when she won.
Back in like
1965. Yeah. I loved when they showed the first winner. Yeah. That lady, I don't know what else she's been in, but she's been in a bunch of things. She was fucking perfect. She was mean looking and stilted.
Oh my God.
Because of the business connections between the Lehman's furniture store and the pageant judges, many fear the contest will be rigged. In the days leading up to the pageant, many odd events occur around town, such as contestant Tammy Curry, who was like the most popular girl in school. She was the head of everything.
She was the she was, I think, the captain of the soccer team. And then she was on track and she was one of the fastest people. And then she was the newly minted president of the Lutheran Sisterhood Gun Club.
Yeah, that was awesome.
I was like, oh, Jiminy Crickets. But she took that over from Becky.
Yeah.
So she usurped Becky's seat.
Yeah.
And she really enjoyed riding her dad's tractor, which led to her being kerblooied.
Which was awesome because they had the cops were like, well, I think she was smoking while she was driving. And then they had Amber saying that Tammy really loved riding her dad's tractor. She said the vibrations helped her think. And she only had to smoke after a good ride.
That's right.
Fuck off.
That one made me laugh out loud.
That was a good,
that's fantastic.
Tammy being killed when her thrashing machine explodes, and the death of a boy Becky liked who was interested in Amber, which is ruled a hunting accident. Shot right between the eyes.
Yeah, and she's just like, but right between the eyes, you hardly ever see that. Let me just put some putty on this. And I'm like, girl, he's ignoring Becky and wants to go out with you on Friday night. And then all of a sudden he's dead.
He's dead, yeah.
And you find out because you got to fix his face for his funeral.
Amber considers dropping out when her mother and Net's trailer explodes, but remains in the competition to make her mother proud.
Beer can.
That the beer can melted to her hand. That was awesome.
That was so fantastic. I was like, oh my God, when they unwrapped that.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
At the dress rehearsal, a stage light knocks out contestant Janelle Betts and renders her deaf.
Sorry. I'm thinking further ahead because Janelle, she had
Yeah, I know what you're thinking about.
Cousins, and she had
everyone in her
sign
family's
language.
deaf.
Everybody in her family's deaf except for her. So she signs everything and she's fantastic. God bless. When we had to wait for her to sign lucrative, I was like, oh my
Yeah,
God,
that's kept going on and on.
And then she just stops and smiles. I was like, oh God, you're amazing. And then she gets hit in the head. And it's so funny because later on during the thing,
yeah, she's so
they're
happy
like,
now.
Has anybody talked to Janelle? Oh, I went to see her today. She's so happy. And they're like, why? Well, now she's deaf.
Yeah, she's deaf now. Oh,
she's
good
deaf
for her.
now. Oh, good for her. That's great. I know she always
fucking lunatics. Oh,
my God. That's also just such a Minnesota thing where it's like, oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's
like
so
even
nice for her.
When the mom is in the I'm almost I would probably guess if I had to put money down, the candy striper, is that what they're called?
Mm-hmm.
The old and in Minnesota she's going in and the mom's yelling at her because she wants to smoke.
Yeah. She's like, unless you have nicotine. And she's like, I've got a mint.
But yes, she Amber was supposed to be the first one and then switched it because that girl, her brother or sister had the baby and the baby was born deaf, so she wanted to get over to the hospital.
Yes.
Everyone like
my deaf, I think it was my deaf niece.
Yeah.
She literally said, like, the baby is deaf, so I want to go think, okay.
Yeah. It said the stage light knocks out contestant Janelle Betts and renders her deaf. On the night of the pageant, Amber's dance costume disappears. She accuses Becky of stealing it, and they have a fight backstage. Now, a lot has happened in between here and there.
Yes.
The interviews of the judges, which we saw the clip at the beginning for them,
Yes.
and then the pedophile judge, and then we got to see the dad of Becky Lehman, Mr. Lehman, and his furniture store, and
and his affinity for Mexicans.
His affinity for Mexicans. Don't Jew me down on the price. I'm like, oh my, that's fucking. I'm like,
he's that guy.
He's awesome.
He's that guy where you're like, oh Jesus, again.
Just to go and spend an evening at a bar with this guy would be a fucking hoot.
Oh my God. I would lose my mind by the end of the night. I'd be like, why?
Well, you wouldn't want to be there all night. You'd probably get old after a couple hours, but
you're like
those
2
first
drinks.
2 hours.
2 drinks, and then we're out.
Yeah, 2 or 3 drinks in, it's hilarious, but yeah.
I could probably deal with 1 drink, and then I would just probably walk away because I'd be like, I'm gonna lose my shit on you eventually. Because don't you have a wider vocabulary?
When he said he pays the Mexicans in tacos, which makes no fucking sense at all.
And then
but
he
finds it
laughed.
so funny.
Yeah, he laughed.
Fucking
so
just
hard.
dies laughing.
And you're like, the fuck? That doesn't even make sense.
No, it made no sense whatsoever. But it was funny.
Tacos. You're like, what? But that's, I mean, a lot of racists don't realize that they're not funny.
And I was just about to say, he thinks he's like generous and kind.
Yeah.
And
He's
one
a
with
good
the
guy in
people.
his
He's a
head.
good guy. Yeah. And if you take away all that racism, I mean, he probably is a good guy. Pageant
he's
choreographer. Well, wasn't he like kind of holding someone a little close when they went? Yeah, like that was someone that, and he slapped the ass of his assistant, who's also judge number 3. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
who
yeah.
looks super uncomfortable and like she really doesn't want to be there.
Yeah. Oh,
The
yeah.
entire thing.
Oh, yeah. He's awesome. Pageant choreographer Cloris Klingon?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Gives Amber a new costume. However, organizer Gladys Lehman says she cannot perform as the new costume was not approved weeks earlier. Yeah.
This is a perfect example. She got she accused Becky of stealing her costume. And then basically the dance instructor kind of coach gives her a leotard to wear.
Yeah.
And then when she goes and says to Gladys and says, hey, so my uniform or my costume is gone, I'm going to be dancing in this. She's like, oh, sweetie, we can't let you do that. That's indecent. And you have to have your costume approved at least a week before.
Yeah.
And nobody approved this, so you can't dance. So then she goes to cry in a stairwell. And Brittany Murphy, who plays Lisa Swenson, the good one, shows up and she's like, girl, wear mine. I don't actually want to do this.
Yeah.
But also,
I'm not gonna win.
her character.
Oh,
Brittany Murphy's.
Brittany Murphy. And then
she sometimes has a little bit of a New York accent that pops
Yeah.
through. And I'm not mad at it though. I'm not. Why? Because of the way she talks about her brother Peter.
Yeah.
To see my brother Peter in New York. He's following his dreams. Here's Peter as Liza Minnelli.
Yeah,
Here's Peter as Madonna. Here's Peter as Barbara.
Barbara, yeah.
So good. Because and I'm like, does she not know? Does she know?
And it made me sad because Brittany Murphy's so funny. And I just finished King of the Hill, where she plays Luann, the niece of Hank. And yeah, it's just shitty that she died.
Such a shame.
Yeah, because she was very funny.
Honestly, I think she could have had a very, very long career as a comedic actress. And
she was doing quite well right up until her demise.
You know what, though? Even her bad movies aren't that bad.
Yeah, like her rom-com things aren't really horrible.
Well, there's one that she did, Uptown Girls. Objectively,
a
bad movie.
Yeah.
But it wasn't that bad.
It wasn't like horrible. Like if you had to sit through it, it was watchable.
I can watch it. Like if it's on TV and there's nothing else on, I can leave it on in the background and I'm not like icked out by it. But like she was just so talented and she did so much good work. And unfortunately, she had the wrong people around her.
Yeah. Yeah, her boyfriend was a douche, wasn't he?
100%. So anyway, she drops out. She gives her costume to Amber.
Yeah.
And Amber taps out the greatest little tap dance ever, and everybody gives her a standing ovation.
Oh, everyone loves it. Oh, Becky Lehman's Jesus number. She does the Jesus number was so fucking awesome.
Where is it?
The ending of that number. Oh my God.
I just wrote she's dancing with Jesus on a cross, and then she takes Jesus's arms off of the cross and hugs her.
But when she carries the cross with him on it, kind of like Jesus did it to get off the stage, I was like, that's awesome.
And honestly, that was because when she starts singing, I'm like, what the fuck? Is she going to sing this whole thing like this? And then she just starts doing that dance with Jesus on the cross. And I was like, oh
so
my
good.
God.
And let's be clear for those listening, if you remember this movie, the Lehmans are not hiding the fact, much like the movie is not hiding the fact that they are paying off the judges.
It is.
There's no mystery here.
The worst kept secret in town. Like everybody who's not being paid off by them is like, well, this is rigged. We all know who's going to win. It doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
And then you see them, like the judges, where they're like, well, how do you already know? Like, how long are you going to take to deliberate or whatever when they have to deliberate? And then Will Sasso, Hank.
I know.
I already know who won.
I know who won.
Who won?
And the other guy yells at him and tackles him to the ground. How can you keep him with the fucking babysitter? And he starts crying.
Yeah, you know the babysitter.
You know the babysitter died. Real good.
Also, Hank with the pants during the interview.
Oh. Yeah. Close up shop. And he's just like clapping. Oh.
There are moments in this.
Yeah.
That like.
And that's what I mean. Like I had a smile.
Yes.
Through the entire thing because there were so many little moments, just one after another. Also, during this time, when they are, who is it here? Sorry. Loretta is bringing Annette, the mom, Amber's mom, who's on heavy drugs.
Yes.
In to watch it, and they're having their own private little moments after every dance, and they're laughing and giggling and saying these things. Yeah. Making their comments. Yeah, that's what I mean. Just little moments after little moments, and it's
so good.
Yeah.
So smart. This is like, I will say it till the day I die. This is one of probably the smartest movies, like writing wise, I've ever seen.
Yeah, and it's like, oh my god! Like I know she worked on a lot of TV shows. She wrote
Yeah.
for a lot of shows, and she did the Boy Scouts Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse, which I remember loving.
I remember loving that too.
But it's one of those things. That's what I meant. It's too bad this didn't hit
Yeah.
mainstream because, fuck, the writing is really good. The directing's really good. Every actor in here went on to. So people that needed to watch this watched it and was like, there's some very talented people in this movie.
Yeah.
A lot of them were already like Ellen Barkin and Kirstie Alley. They were already, and even Kristen Dunst by this time was already famous.
True. She was already famous. Mindy Sterling was already famous. But quiet famous. She was the character actor.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were a lot of people in this movie that you're like, oh, I know you.
Yeah, and the two at the end. Well, we'll get there.
Yes, we'll get there. We'll get there.
Amber's fellow contestant, Lisa Swan, takes pity on her and drops out to give Amber her costume. Amber's able to perform her tap dance number and receives a standing ovation. For her performance, Becky sings "Can't Take My Eyes Off You" while dancing with a life-size Jesus doll on a crucifix, which amuses and horrifies the audience.
I don't know how amused they were. They were definitely horrified because there was silence until Mr. Leanne.
Yeah. no one started clapping until Mr. Lehman
everybody's
did.
Like, oh, yeah.
The only one that seemed to be enjoy it was the Amber's mom and Loretta, Allison, Jenny, and Ellen.
Yeah, because they were laughing.
They were just killing themselves.
Yeah, they were like, "What is this shit?
Like, what the fuck?" The pageant announces the winners. Cheerleader Leslie Miller is second runner-up. Her boyfriend was awesome as well.
Oh my god! When he rips off his shirt,
and
he's got writing up.
And then when they ask her a question, and she's like, "Oh, how'd you know? Yeah, I've been late. I'm like 3 months late."
Well, they didn't even show the question no, they did. It was like,
they did, and they're like, "No,
nervous. How long how's it been?" or something like that. She's like, "Well, it's been about 2 months."
How'd you know?
How did you know? And they were like, "Oh, we're talking
about the
pageant." And oh yeah, no, I'm nervous about that too.
She gets Amber's first runner, Leslie Miller's second runner up. That was pretty funny too. I came in second. She said, "You came in third, you moron." Because she got second. Right?
Yeah.
She was second. Yeah. Amber is first runner up, and Becky wins. During Becky's victory parade the next day, she is killed in a freak accident when her elaborate swan float bursts into flame and explodes. Kirstie Alley telling her to get her ass up that stairs and start smiling. Yeah.
And she's like, "It smells like gasoline."
Yeah, I don't want to go up.
I don't want to smell like gasoline. It'll get on my dress. And she's like, "You better get up there." And the dad's super proud. Like, "Yeah, I got that in Mexico."
Yeah, I got a deal on it. I paid them in tacos.
And then like everybody, and it's so funny because God bless Amber and what's her name, we're on the car right behind the thing, and she's like, "Oh yeah, swan gas. Well, this is gonna be so fun. This is exactly what I wanted." And then all of a sudden, poof, it all goes up in flames, which was amazing. It torched it.
Oh, and the judges were ahead in a Camaro.
Yes.
And poor Hank got his overall stuck in the truck and was stuck. And when they kept going back to him and he's kind of leaning and letting it like hold him in the air, and he's just, the kids are picking on him.
That little note where they're like, "As documentary filmmakers, we want to adhere to this, where we do not interfere with the subjects at all." Because he's literally looking at them being like, "Help!"
He's like, yeah, he's looking directly at them. "Help me, help me." The kids picking on him. But when they go back and the kids are running away, and he has that little kid
in a
headlock stealing his cotton candy. And he does offer him a bite. "You want some?"
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. After the explosion, a grief-stricken Gladys flies into a blind rage, admitting to being responsible for all the shenanigans and is immediately arrested. Yeah, so she killed everybody, not Becky.
I thought it was Becky, not gonna lie. That's how good of a mean girl she was.
Yeah. Oh, and you when you're watching this, you're like, yeah, it's Becky. Obviously, look at her.
100%.
She's shooting at the gun range, and like she's cold blooded through the whole thing.
Oh yeah.
Other than her missing the accident, Denise Richards does a great job here.
Yeah.
And she passes 17 to me, like at 28. Yeah.
That was impressive.
So where are we here? So Amber is crowned the new pageant winner and then I didn't know how long this movie was. I wasn't bored or anything. I wasn't looking at my phone or nothing like that. But yeah, we go on to state. And where are we? Sorry.
Well, it was funny because when they made Amber the pageant winner, I was like, oh, the movie must be almost done. And then I looked and I was like, we still have another 20 minutes or half an hour. And I was like, oh.
They take the tiara off the coffin.
They take off the coffin and they put it on her and it's all melted. And
all melted, an explosion.
And she's like, this feels weird. Like, God bless Amber. She had a conscience. God bless.
Yeah, and she was very nice. Like last year's winner, who was a what was it?
Anorexic.
And she's combing her hair and chunks of the hair.
And then she's like, shh,
don't tell her.
Nothing. It's just a little snarl. That's it.
At the state competition, Amber wins the title by default after the other contestants contract food poisoning. And then she receives.
My mom always says, never eat anything that lives in that carries around its own house because you never know how clean it is.
Yeah. When's the last time they cleaned it?
I'm like, oh, that's funny.
I did like when the film crew ran into the cops film crew.
Yes. And they're like, hey man, how's it going?
Yeah. So then of course they show all the models just puking everywhere.
Yeah. That was a lot of puke.
Yeah.
I could have missed that, but I'd be okay.
And then, so she receives an all expenses paid trip to the national pageant as a prize. But upon arrival, she and the other state winners are devastated to find that Sarah Rose Cosmetics was shut down for tax evasion, meaning the national pageant has been permanently canceled. This sends all the contestants, except Amber, into a rage-fueled rampage where they vandalize the company's property. It said a few years later, Gladys escapes prison. Oh,
yeah.
When they do the flash to, she's giving the smoke to the big lady, and then the big lady points at her her pocket, which in prison, if you hold the pocket part, you're the bitch.
Yes. I was like, oh, Gladys, how far we've fallen.
Oh, but
far?
she does escape and becomes involved in a police standoff at the Mount Rose supermarket, declaring her intent to take revenge on Amber during a 6-hour standoff. A television reporter at the scene is hit by a stray bullet. Amber quickly picks up the microphone and takes over to report the story, impressing the news station with her poise and confidence. Amber becomes co-anchor of the evening news for Minneapolis-St. Paul WAZB-TV, thus fulfilling her dream and possibly becoming the next Diane Sawyer. In the trivia, the original ending was she commits suicide in prison.
Yeah.
And her second command, or what, her best friend there, that was the Saturday Night Live lady. Mm-hmm. No, she wasn't Saturday Night Live. No. I'm sorry. I'm forgetting her name.
I forgot her name too.
Mindy Sterling?
Yeah, Mindy Sterling.
Yeah. She's the one that does the shootout, and they did test screens. They didn't like it. This one's much better because Christy Alley's up there. Bring that blonde bitch.
So great, because then she gets and then immediately Amber's like,
and the
paramedics are attending to her, and this is what's happening, and da-da-da-da-da. And then all of a sudden she's back with Diane Sawyer hair.
Yes.
I was like, yes.
Perfect. And that is our movie. What's your score for Drop Dead Gorgeous from 1999?
My score is a solid rent it. And even, like, I will say this, rent it at full price. It is a very clever, smart movie. It is well written. The performances are amazing. There are very few glaring flaws in the performances. There are a few big laughs, but like you said, and like I said, I enjoyed the movie from start to finish. I smiled through all of it, except for the points where I was laughing out loud. But it was like a quiet smile. It was a very smart, funny, really good for a watch. I don't know how rewatchable this is for me, but I really liked it, and I think a lot more people would really like it. So, I mean, if you manage to find it for like $6, even $7, I'd be like, yo, get it, watch it. You can rent it. I don't know if I would buy it because, I mean, to be perfectly honest, I may rewatch it in 10 years. I may not. There wasn't anything that made me go, oh, I need to see that again. But it was really good. Very funny, very enjoyable, so smart. But yeah, that's it. Like, I'm not super enthusiastic over it. But I was like, oh, good. It was a good movie. I liked it. Yeah. What's your rating?
Well, my rating, I already bought the fucking thing. And what's actually disappointing, I'm kind of like you. This is an easy rental. If you remember liking this, because it's a hard movie to find.
Yeah.
It's not on any of the major streaming services that I could find.
Yeah,
it's
you
not
had
on
to send
you.
it to me.
Yeah, I had to send that to you. You can't. It wasn't for sale on Apple. It wasn't for sale on YouTube. It wasn't for sale on Amazon streaming services. So we bought it. But if you can find it to rent, it's an easy rental. And I would even say if you can buy this movie at a discount, it's worth a buy. The only problem is there's nothing. I have the Blu-ray here. There's nothing with it. There is no commentary. There's no making of. It's absolutely nothing. Right. I don't know if there is on the DVD.
I think there was. I don't remember. There was something on there.
Yeah.
It wasn't extensive.
Yeah. This movie was not shot like with a giant budget. So if the DVD has something on it, I'd buy the DVD over the Blu-ray.
Yeah.
You are not losing a lot to have the picture being downgraded a bit from Blu-ray to DVD. You're not losing out on anything.
No,
it was funny. I had a lot of fun watching. I'm not mad that I have this. It's just, it would have been nice if it came with a bit more like a making of, some commentary might be good. But it comes with absolutely nothing. If I see it streaming, I would probably, if I on the TV, I'd probably watch it for a while before I realized, wait, I have this fucking movie. And I would watch it again. It's one of those movies that it might be really fun to watch with company. It might be fun and talking about it, because it was just as fun going over the movie as it was watching it. Yeah, it's not like I'm not going to watch this next weekend or anything, but maybe down the road I'll definitely watch it again. I just don't know how. So I would say yes, it's a very easy rental. If I gave the movie out of 10, I would say an easy 7.5.
Yeah, I'd be in that range too. 100%. Yeah.
Not quite an 8, but yeah, just the smart.
See, I'd probably go to 7.
Yeah.
Because it was very enjoyable. Like, no arguing that. But there was nothing that was like, oh, I need to watch that again.
Yeah. But it might be one of those things, if you have it, you'll go, oh yeah, Drop Dead Gorgeous.
Honestly, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, an easy rental. If you remember liking this movie, it'll be fun to go back again, especially if you haven't seen it in a long time. Yeah, it's still funny.
It is. It is. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot.
All right. Well, let us know what you think of Drop Dead Gorgeous in the comments below. Anything else you want to add?
No, I don't think so.
All right. All right. Well, thanks for coming back to 1999 and watching Drop Dead Gorgeous with us. And until the next movie we remember liking.
And now, folks, it's time to say goodnight. We sincerely appreciate your patronage and hope we've succeeded in bringing you an enjoyable evening of entertainment. Please drive home carefully and come back again soon. Good night.